Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. We're back in more familiar surroundings today. It wasn't a green screen when I was in Amsterdam. It genuinely looked like that. It's a beautiful place. Back in the office, got the Benson 12 Premier League shirt there. Office chair, this is the second one. This is a deck chair. This has been in the family for about 15 years. Bought it inside now. The weather has got significantly colder in the past week, which the weather in the UK, if you're not from the UK, I'm going to give you a little lowdown as to the English person's perception of the weather and how it makes us feel in general. And obviously I don't speak for everybody. Some people love these autumnal nights when it's like 6 degrees. Oh, for goodness, I can't stand it personally. But English people, we like to complain. We find something to complain about pretty much anything, you know. On the longest day of the year, the following day in June, we're like, oh yeah, the nights are going to start drawing out now. We literally complain about everything. I do this too. I'm not saying that it's everyone else but me and I'm some kind of saint. I'm literally this person as well. Not only that, I was in the line coming back from Amsterdam, went to Luton Airport, which if you've ever been there before, you'll be able to probably agree with me on this. Luton Airport is not the most amazing place on earth. It's certainly not a tourist destination. There's a reason people go there to then leave Luton Airport to fly somewhere else. It's not the greatest place in the world. And I was in the passport line. As per usual, the electronic passport gates were down, which meant I was stuck in the line. And I was thinking about making this video today because I was doing a little bit of a match preview in my head of England versus Bulgaria, thinking, who's going to start? Are the Chelsea boys going to get debuts? Is Mason Mount going to play? Is Ross Barkley going to play? What do we see from the future from Chelsea England players? Like, is Reece James going to be able to break in at right back over Trippier, Wan-Bissaka, Trent Alexander-Arnold, flipping Maitland-Niles, Walker-Peters? We've got an abundance of right backs. Good luck to Reece James. Everyone was there complaining about Brexit. Everyone was talking amongst themselves, be it like family to family, friend to friend, or Martin with his AirPods in talking to his business colleague at the end of a Friday working week, talking about Brexit, how it's going to affect everyone. English people, we've got so much to moan about, don't we? It's just the way we do it. It really is. And then there's football, something that supposedly brings everybody together, gets people a bit excited. We've got this Sweden versus England flag last year, just a little piece of memorabilia from England winning a World Cup quarter-final. I went to the semi-final in Moscow. I was in the stadium. In my opinion, probably one of, if not the worst moments of my life. And the reason it was one of the worst moments of my life is because over the course of my life, 25 years, I've allowed football to become such a massive part of me that it can put my mood together. It can make me a happier person. It can make me more upset. It can make me frustrated. It can make me angry. All of these emotions are things that we feel when we watch football. When we experience our team win, there's hardly a feeling like it. When we experience a draw or a loss, when you feel like you should have won. Last week against Sheffield United, for about an hour after the match, I was almost inconsolable, even though we hadn't lost the game. It was the nature of things that happen in football get to me. They get to you. I'm sure of that as well. How does this relate to flipping Brexit and grey evenings at Luton Airport, you may ask? Well, I want to take you guys back a long, long way so that you can understand where I'm coming from here in this video today. And I'm going to show you a trophy. And this trophy here just looks like any standard trophy that you can buy from any local trophy store. I don't have any affiliate codes. If I did, I'd link you to one. But this is my dad's trophy, okay? My dad was my team's manager. I played for a team called Thatcham Tornadoes. Closest rivals were a team called Thatcham Town Harriers. I picked the Tornadoes, and my dad was the manager, and I was 7 years old, and the goalkeeper of my team then decided that because it was raining, his dad didn't want him to play on the pitch, which is kind of an absolutely abysmal excuse for a footballer, even at the age of 7, to be bought off because of the rain. If anything, it makes it more enjoyable when you're that age. He came off. The manager's son is me. There's no goalkeeper. Muggins over here has to go in goal because, well, my dad can't force another kid to go in goal, but his son, go on, get in there. I'll give you an extra 50p later for flipping Chewits. So dad sends me in goal, and I was all right at it. I wasn't great. I wasn't bad. I was okay. I ended up being a goalkeeper for 6 years with my dad as the manager. It's quite a cool story how that one flipping rainy day ruined my footballing career forever. I could have literally played. No, I couldn't. I wasn't that good. But what this did is it not only enabled me to build a connection with my dad and I are very close, we still are very close, but these footballing emotions and the Wednesday when it was a training session in the evening, I'd always make sure I ran home from school a little bit quicker so I could get to the shop, buy myself a Lucozade, or without telling my parents, buy myself a Red Bull. They weren't happy with me drinking Red Bull. They thought it was a bit too strong, but I wanted to have loads of energy to go to football training so that I could impress my dad, so that he was excited about the match on the weekend. We had a very successful team, and the reason that we won that trophy or he won that trophy is because we had a season where we played 22 matches in the league, won all 22 matches, and then didn't draw or lose a single game. And I even scored 4 goals as goalkeeper. The reason I've told you that story is not to bore you to death, and hopefully you guys are still here. If you are, be sure to drop a big fat like on this YouTube video for more old school stories of my Thatcham Tornadoes footballing days. But the reason I bring it back to this is because there's a reason for absolutely everybody to get excited about being involved in football. Whether that's playing football, whether it's going there with your family, going there with your friends, supporting a team, whether it's on TV, in the stadium, or from the other side of the world if you take a flight from Luton Airport to Ibiza and your team are playing in Liverpool on a Saturday. You've always got to make sure you know what the score is, you'll watch it if you can. It's what football does to us. It brings everybody together, yet still, be it England or Chelsea fans, there are still some people that just don't like it when people get excited. This whole word, and this is pretty much the whole synopsis of today's video. Overhyping players, okay? About a crop of young players in their football team. I've still got people tweeting me, leaving comments on my videos saying, how can you overhype Mason Mount? He's only 20 years old. He's not done anything with his career. He's not very good. But he is good. Like, he just is good. Like, do people really just want to argue about absolutely everything in this world for the sake of arguing? I really don't see. There are so many people jumping on Alex Goldberg's back, jumping on Nini's back, jumping on plenty of other Chelsea channels, Football Therapy, Yannick. We all get the same thing, saying that we shouldn't be overhyping these young players. We should be slating Frank Lampard for using so many young players. It's a little bit ridiculous because I think these players are pretty good. If you look back to the English golden generation that we've all just experienced. If you're 3 years old watching this video, you won't know what I'm talking about, but then you probably don't know what I'm talking about anyway because you're 3. Not sure where I was going with that, but I've grown up in a generation where England supposedly had this golden crop of players. It's come out since then after we've seen them fail countless times at major competitions. We were let down by England, and the likes of Frank Lampard, Rio Ferdinand, people have come out and said that the reason for that was ego. The reason why England couldn't succeed despite having so many talented players was because people couldn't leave the club rivalries to one side in order to play for your country. Now with England, and this is relative to both Chelsea fans who are getting annoyed about overhyping and England fans who get frustrated about too much expectation, overhyping players. The reason this young crop of talent right now coming through the academies of English football clubs, in particular Chelsea, Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount, Ruben, Reece James. So many good talents have grown up seeing the same heroes of you or I fail and seeing the response of English people and how let down people feel. Those players are just like you or I in terms of that frustration. Mason Mount, when he was 12 years old, yes, he was still a very talented footballer for his age, but do you think he didn't care or he didn't get a little bit upset when England got knocked out of a World Cup or a European Championship? I don't want to speak for the man, but the most likelihood is, despite being a very good footballer, despite trying to get his way into being a professional, he still watched England fail. He still watched Chelsea games where Chelsea were knocked out of the Champions League by Barcelona in 2009 due to that goal from Iniesta. All of these players that are coming up right now, be it from Chelsea's academy, for England, playing in Euro qualifiers, making their England debuts, these players have experienced the same pain that we have as fans growing up, and they've seen the way it didn't click before them, and everybody knows now, and you can see it amongst this England group of players. Everybody is on the same page. It's not about who's the best anymore, who's going to be the best on the field. Everyone's grouping together, and there is a reason why people like me are overly optimistic right now. It's because we want to feel these feelings of excitement when it comes to these thoughts, these what if moments that go through your mind. On a Wednesday evening when I went to training and I first got there, I was having this what if moment where if I scored a free kick from outside the box, then maybe my dad might consider me not putting me in goal for the weekend and I might get a start on the right wing where I wanted to play. Wishful thinking, never happened. But if it isn't for these moments in football where you get excited about something that hasn't happened yet, if you don't have these moments, then what's the point of it all in the first place? Somebody mentioned to me in my live stream today, how would you feel if you knew that your team were going to win every competition and every match match for the next 10 years. And at first, you think, great, this is amazing. But then that anticipation, that unknown element of football is something that draws us in more and more every single week. If we knew that we were going to lose, or we knew we were going to win 6-0, there wouldn't be that anticipation. There wouldn't be that excitement that comes with going to football matches. And I guess the point I'm trying to make within this video, and to address this situation, to respond to people who are telling me I'm deluded for overhyping a player such as Mason Mount, if you don't bother getting excited about these players, then why the hell are you a football fan in the first place? What is it that is making you excited about football? And if you're not excited about football, then geez, like, we're already living in a time where there's enough for us to worry about. There's flipping global warming, there's Brexit, there's the weather in September. Like, come on, man, like, give these young players a break. I know it's social media, and I know that everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I just don't think it's necessary for people to be so aggressive in the way that they call people like me deluded just because I'm excited about a crop of young players. I think Chelsea's future is incredibly bright. Right now, it may not seem that way because we've got 1 win in 4 matches. Liverpool and Man City are already running away with the Premier League. These players have felt the same things that we have felt following Chelsea, following England over the course of the last 15 years. These guys that are coming up now, Tammy, Callum, Mason, Ruben, all of these players know how it feels, and we should be getting excited about them and for them. I don't want to see any more of this, oh, Mason Mount's average, from Chelsea fans. Like, I understand it if it's like a bit of banter from like a Man United fan saying, oh, Mason Mount's not quite Dan James. I get that. That's football. That's part of the banter. But Chelsea fans, seriously, this is a message to you, to those of you that don't want to support the youth, to those of you that don't want to support Frank. What is the point? So I guess the final point I want to make in this video today, I've approached this from an angle of being an England fan and also a Chelsea fan, relating to these young Chelsea players that are coming up through the academy, making it into the England squads. Are England going to win the Euros? Are Chelsea going to compete for the Premier League with this crop of players again in the future? People are very quick to jump on my back saying that I'm too overly optimistic. It's frustrating because George Benson football is not realistic and all this stuff. I totally understand that, but I'm not going to change my viewpoint because at the end of the day, as I've mentioned within the stories in today's video, the reason I love football so much is because we enable our minds to wonder and think about those what if moments. We start to picture the ideal scenario. We start to picture what could be if everything works together. And of course, the same way in football as it is in everyday life. Things don't always work the way we want them to, but that's all part of the journey. It's all part of the fun of being a football fan in the first place. So if you want to keep being negative about Mason Mount, saying he's not good enough for this, not good enough for that, yet he still will keep banging goals in on the field, feel free to do so. But that kind of negative outlook, it's going to wear you down, my friend. It really is. In a world where things are going wrong, politically, globally, we're living in a weird planet right now, but football's at least one thing that can keep us all together. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope that you did get the point I was trying to make in this video, but hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video. Tomorrow, I'm releasing a very fun video that Chelsea fans, particularly global Chelsea fans, I think will really enjoy. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you all later. Goodbye.